Forget the legends, this is the truth. On a single day in 490 BC, 10,000 farmers, merchants, and poets stood on a sun-scorched plain. Ahead of them, an army 5 times their size, the unstoppable vanguard of an empire that spanned the known world. The choice was simple: surrender their homes, their families, and a dangerous new concept called democracy, or charge. At the dawn of the 5th century BC, the ancient world was split in two. To the east stretched the vast Persian Empire, from the mountains of Media to the sands of Egypt, ruled by King Darius I, the self-proclaimed King of Kings. To the west lay the scattered city-states of Greece, small, independent, proud, and often at war with one another. Between them loomed a clash of worlds: monarchy versus democracy, empire versus freedom. Darius ruled with absolute power. His word was law, and his armies seemed unstoppable. Yet in a distant corner of his empire, a spark of rebellion began to burn. Along the western coast of Asia Minor lived Greek colonies known as the Ionians. They had long been under Persian control, but they never forgot the taste of freedom. In 499 BC, the city of Miletus rose in revolt. Athens and Eretria, across the Aegean, sent ships to help them. For the Persians, this was treachery. For Darius, it was an insult he would never forget. His empire crushed the revolt, burned Miletus to the ground, and enslaved its people. When he learned that Athens had dared to help the rebels, he vowed revenge. According to legend, Darius ordered a servant to whisper in his ear every day, "Master, remember the Athenians." The time for vengeance had come. In 492 BC, Darius sent an army westward, but storms wrecked his fleet off Mount Athos. 2 years later, he tried again, this time with a more precise strike. He ordered 2 generals, Darius and Artaphernes, to lead a massive expedition across the Aegean. Their goal? Punish Athens and Eretria and bring Greece to its knees. The Persian army was vast, perhaps 30,000 men, supported by hundreds of ships. They carried with them the authority of an empire that stretched across continents. Where they marched, nations fell. The Persians first destroyed Eretria, burning temples, enslaving its people, and then sailed south toward the plain of Marathon, a wide open field northeast of Athens. It was the perfect place for their cavalry to fight. There, they would wait for Athens to submit. In Athens, panic spread. The Persians were coming, and they were many. But one man rose above the fear: Miltiades, a general who knew the Persians well. He understood that if Athens hesitated, the city would fall. The Athenians mustered every able man, around 10,000 hoplites, citizen soldiers in bronze armor, carrying long spears and round shields. They sent a runner, Phidippides, to Sparta to beg for aid. He ran more than 240 kilometers in 2 days, but when he arrived, the Spartans refused to march until the full moon. Religious law held them back. Athens would have to stand alone. Still, Miltiades refused to surrender. He led the Athenian army out to Marathon to face the invaders directly. They were joined by about 1,000 men from the small city of Plataea, the only allies who answered the call. Together, they marched to the plain, and there they saw it: the Persian army, vast and gleaming, its banners fluttering in the coastal wind. The Athenian generals were divided. Should they attack or wait for reinforcements? Among them stood Callimachus, the polemarch, the deciding vote in matters of war. Miltiades argued passionately, "If we delay, the Persians will find allies in Athens. The city will betray itself from within. We must strike now, for freedom, for our homes, for Greece." The debate ended. Callimachus sided with Miltiades. The Athenians would fight. They took up position along the hills overlooking the plain. Miltiades formed a bold plan. He stretched his line thin, weakening the center but strengthening both wings. It was a risk, but one born of genius. The Persians, confident in their numbers, prepared for an easy victory. They had crushed many nations before. They did not yet know that this would be the day their empire met its match. The morning sun rose over Marathon, glinting off thousands of bronze helmets. The Persian army advanced, drums echoing across the plain. Behind them, the sea shimmered with the reflection of their ships, a reminder of the empire that awaited their triumph. Then, the impossible happened. The Athenian line began to move, not in retreat, but in charge. 10,000 hoplites sprinted across the plain, their shields locked, their spears leveled. No Greek army had ever attacked the Persians head-on before. The thunder of sandals shook the earth. At full speed, the Athenians crashed into the Persian line. The impact was brutal, bronze against wicker, discipline against arrogance. The Greek wings, thicker and stronger, smashed through the Persian flanks, while the center bent but did not break. Miltiades' gamble had worked. The Persian center, filled with their elite troops, pushed hard, forcing the Greek middle backward. But on the wings, the Athenians and Plataeans drove deep into the enemy's sides, then wheeled inward, surrounding them. It became a slaughter. The Persians, trapped and confused, broke ranks and fled toward their ships. The Greeks pursued them all the way to the shore. Fierce fighting broke out around the beached vessels. Callimachus, the brave Athenian commander, was struck down, but his courage inspired the men around him. They captured 7 Persian ships before the rest fled to sea. The plain of Marathon was silent once more. Nearly 6,400 Persians lay dead. The Athenians had lost just 192, numbers that seemed impossible, yet they were real. But victory was not yet secure. The Persians, retreating, turned their fleet toward Athens, hoping to take the city while its army was away. Miltiades saw the danger at once. He gathered his men, still exhausted from battle, and marched them 40 kilometers back to Athens, the same day. When the Persian ships arrived, they saw the Athenian army already waiting on the shore. Defeated, they turned away. Legend says that Phidippides, the runner, was sent from Marathon to carry the news of victory. He ran without rest, burst into the assembly, and gasped the words, "Rejoice, we have won!" Then he fell dead from exhaustion. His sacrifice became the origin of the modern marathon race, a tribute to the endurance and courage of that day. When the Athenians returned from Marathon, the city erupted in celebration. For the first time, free men had defeated the might of an empire. This victory changed Greece forever. It gave Athens confidence, pride, and the belief that its democracy, its way of life, could stand against tyranny. For Darius, it was a humiliation. He swore revenge once more and began planning an even greater invasion. But before he could complete it, he died. The task would fall to his son, Xerxes I, who would return a decade later with a far larger army to face Greece again at Thermopylae and Salamis. Yet Marathon remained a symbol, proof that courage and unity could overcome overwhelming odds. Centuries later, when the Greek historian Herodotus wrote of Marathon, he called it the moment when the world changed. It was not just a battle of soldiers, but of ideas, freedom against empire, citizenship against servitude. Had the Persians won, democracy itself might have been snuffed out before it began. But on that plain, beneath the burning sun, 10,000 men stood shoulder to shoulder and said, "No. No to tyranny. No to submission." They fought for something greater than life, for the right to live free. And that is why, even today, more than 2,500 years later, the name Marathon still means victory through endurance, and the day ordinary men defied an empire.